Lincoln's charter raised the question of whether or not man can condemn himself. Black existentialist, who was more pragmatic, Frantz Fanon, answered the question. He said man cannot. We in SNCC tend to agree with Fanon. We believe that man cannot condemn himself, and if he did, he must inflict punishment upon himself. One example is the Nazis. Any of the Nazi prisoners who, once they were caught and incarcerated, admitted that they committed crimes, killed all the many people they killed, had to commit suicide. Any of the Nazi prisoners who, the only ones who were able to stay alive, were the ones that never admitted that they committed crimes against people, that is. Another more recent example provided by the officials in the population, the white population of Neshoba County, Mississippi. They were not able to condemn Sheriff Rainey, the deputies, or the 14 other men that killed 3 black people. They were not able to because they elected Mr. Rainey to do precisely what he did, and condemning him would be condemning themselves. In a much larger view, we in SNCC believe that white America cannot condemn herself for her criminal acts against black America. So we, black people, have done it. You are condemned. The institutions that are built and are functioning in this society are racist. They are built upon racism. So the questions that must now be dealt with are, how do black people move? How do white people who say they're not a part of these institutions begin to move? How do we begin to clear away any of the obstacles in this society to make us live like human beings? I maintain that every civil rights bill passed in this country is passed for white people, not black people. For example, I'm a black man. I know that. And while I am a black man, I'm also a human being. Therefore, I should be able to walk into any public place I want. The white man don't know that. Every time I tried, they stopped me. So some boys had to write a bill to tell the white man, when that man comes in, stop him. That bill was for white men, not me. I know I can live where I want to live. And it's the whites' incapability of allowing me to live where I want. You need a civil rights bill, not me. The failure of the civil rights movement is not because of black power, or the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or the rebellions that have occurred in major cities. The failures of civil rights has been because of the whites' incapacity to deal with their own problems in their own communities. The white supremacist attitude, which you have, subconsciously or consciously, runs rampant through society today. For example, the missionaries that were sent out to Africa. They were sent out with the attitude in mind that blacks were inferior to whites. As a matter of fact, the first act they committed when they got to Africa was make us cover up our bodies. Because they said we got them excited. So blacks can no longer walk around bare-breasted because you got excited. When the missionaries came to civilize us because we were uncivilized, or educate us because we were uneducated, or teach us literary studies because we were illiterate, they charged a price. They had the Bible and we had the land, and when they left, they had the land and we still had the Bible. That has been the rationalization for Western civilization as it moves across the world, stealing, plundering, and raping everybody in its path. The one rationalization that the rest of the world is uncivilized, and they are in fact civilized, but the West is uncivilized. So the questions that must now be dealt with are, how do black people move? What do we do? How do white people, who are the majority, who are responsible for making democracy work, make it work? Democracy has never worked, be it in South Africa, Vietnam, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, South America, or wherever else America has been. We not only condemn America for what it has done internally, but what it has done externally. We have seen this country try to rule the world. Somebody's going to have to stand up and articulate the fact that this country is not God and cannot rule the world. You want to end poverty, you give people money. So you ought not talk to me about people who don't work and that you can't give people money if they don't work. Because if that were true, you'd have to start stopping Rockefeller, Kennedy, Lyndon Baines Johnson, Lady Bird Johnson, all of them. So the questions that must now be dealt with are, how can white people overcome racism in their own communities?